right! Oh, never mind!
Dixon in the driver's seat, Ingram behind him down the back straightaway. A little bit of juking out there. It's like a football field.
Yeah, taking some IndyCar lines down the back straightaway. Ingram really closes up on the back bumper of the 15. He's all over it as we go through 3 and 4. He's on the bottom. He's sitting inside. Coming to the checkered flag. Oh, the all 3 of them around. Oh, he's gonna use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're gonna be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's gonna be a drag race to the line. Tom Musa gets it.
Tom Musa, where did he come from?
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Daytona International Speedway for tonight's featured presentation of the United States Online Racing League Red Bull Cup Series. As always, for these races, I'm your host, JoeTowNetwork. Alongside me tonight, Mr. Tommy Bordeaux. Tommy, welcome once again to Daytona.
Yeah, here we are again, Joe. Been a few months, and certainly a lot has changed in the playoff picture since we were here last. Remember, it was Noah Joyce who got his first career victory here all those races ago. And now as we get closer to the playoffs, Joe, these guys have one of the last remaining chances maybe to get themselves into that final points push.
Yeah, it's a final push to get to the playoffs here. It's also a Dash for Cash event tonight. We'll take you through everything as we go throughout the evening, but I want to get this out of the way because I know everyone waits for it every single week to get a glimpse into inside of the wacky, the wonderful, the fantastical, the amazing. I'm running out of words. Well, without further ado, here's Tommy's World.
It's Tommy's World. It's Tommy's World. It's NASCAR. Excellent. It's Tommy's World. It's Tommy's World. On the sands of Daytona Beach, drivers battled side by side in a test of their driving ability and their car's performance. These same shores became the birthplace for organized American stock car racing. Just a decade later, this organization had its crown jewel racetrack, the 2.5-mile Daytona International Speedway. This famed racetrack has seen its fair share of historic moments, both on and off the track. Petty in '79, Earnhardt in '98, and the Season 7 opener with Noah Joyce.
It's gonna be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
To win at Daytona puts your name in the record books. But what makes this track so special? Don't let its simple shape fool you. This 2.5-mile stretch of asphalt on the Florida coast is as tough as they get. And with over 31 degrees of banking, these turns are over 2 stories high from the bottom to the top. Gotta have a pretty fast car to stay on those banks. But just how fast? These cars will travel over 200 miles an hour on the drag. That means they can cross a football field in just a second. Oh, and did I mention you're going to be inches apart, side by side with some of the fiercest competitors in sim racing for 80 laps? So yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world. But my turn's over. It's time for these guys to show everybody what they got. You want to try? I'll leave one of these.
Well, and thanks again to Weaver for setting up the TWB Airlines machine, and Tommy for taking the time to get here to Daytona a little bit early. You saw it was daytime in Tommy's World this week. But Tommy, we're seeing a lot of great racing on the track, but I think we're going to race a little earlier tonight, so I want to make sure we get through the starting lineup. So here you go. Talk some more to these fans at home.
Well, sure thing, Joe. Your starting lineup for tonight on pole, just like he was in the first Daytona race this season, it's the 75 car of Davey Hazard. To his outside, it's the 54 of Huang Do. That's your row 1, made up of 2 Toyotas. Back in row 2, JTN's own Ricky Collette in the 98, with Jamie Zalecki in the 07 to his outside. Row 3 has our Daytona winner, Noah Joyce, beside our defending champion, the 4 car of Stephen Merschlack. Back in row 4, Matthew Steelman in the 51, and Christopher Pickett in the 29. He could be a threat for the Superspeedway ace title this race. Back in row 5, the 42 of William Page and the 1 car of Zach Kostowski rounds out the top 10. Behind them, it's John Peterson and Ray Tustin, Darren Ingram and Sean Whitehill making up row number 7, Richard Pleasant and Michael Murata making up row number 8, and Jesse Dalton and Antonio Ruiz round out the field of our drivers who set a time in qualifying, those who did not set a time but will race tonight. The 16 of Garrett Sidnor and to his outside, Jake Oakley rounds out the top 20. Jack Healy and DJ Harris make up row number 11. Cal Lovell and Trey Coleman are 23rd and 24th, with Sean English, Cam Barnes, and Jeff Dixon II rounding out this big 27-car field.
Ginormous field. That big doesn't even describe it tonight, Tommy. 27 cars, a lot around this 2.5 mile super speedway at Daytona. Folks, you are not going to want to miss a minute of the action tonight. Make sure, if you never want to miss a minute of the action here on JTN, you're subscribed to our YouTube page here on YouTube. That makes no sense, but there it is. youtube.com/JoeTowNetwork. But you're already here, so you should be able to just hit that little subscribe button down there if you haven't already. Also, like the video if you would ever so kindly, please. Please do that. A race preview tonight. Of course, Daytona International Speedway, 2.5 mile super speedway, 80 laps tonight, as opposed to the 100 in the season opener. So a little bit of a shorter race tonight, Tommy. What does that mean for these drivers?
Well, that just means the intensity is going to be ramped up a little bit more, Joe. Got less time to make your moves and get up towards the front. Still a long way to go, and these super speedway races are treacherous at any lap of the race, but certainly maybe a little bit more of an accelerated pace tonight rather than a few months ago.
And it's a little cooler tonight. It's also fixed setup tonight, which is different, but 60 degrees, no wind. Obviously, we're the commentators, and it says last week's winner, rather last season's winner, Huang Do, who's now in the number 54 machine for games 1, 2, 3 racing.
Well, Joe, here we are under the lights of Daytona Beach, Florida. Like you saw in that Tommy's World segment, a lot of history at this racetrack, a lot of great moments, and we hope to bring some more here tonight at the USORL Red Bull Cup Series live here on JTN. The cars soon will go down to the grid, and Joe, we're going to see ourselves quite the race here tonight.
Yeah, it looks like Davey Hazard's impaled trying to go on the road course. That's next week for these folks. We're not going to be out here because you're going to be driving.
That's
what
right.
I heard.
I look forward to that race. It's going to be a lot of fun. Won there a couple weeks back at the Fast Racing League Daytona Road Course event. So, yeah, that should be a fun one.
Why am I not surprised that you won a road course race? But, folks, again, thank you so much. If you would be so kind, share the video with all your friends, family, whoever you think would want to watch this tonight with us here on JTN. And we're going to have a fantastic time bringing you all the action. Make sure you're lively in chat. We love to talk with you throughout the race, especially when we get some downtime, when the inevitable big one happens, Tommy. I know you said it was a 100% chance. I mean, nothing's ever 100%, right?
Nah, not here. I'm telling you, you saw the graphic, Joe. Big one, 100% chance, guarantee it. We had a couple big ones actually here a couple months ago. So even if we're down a few this time, I think we'll still at least have one.
Well, you know, it's moderate damage tonight too for these folks. So
yeah, that's an important thing to point out, Joe, because you might get involved in a little bit of a fender bender, but it shouldn't impact you too much. Hopefully your damage isn't too bad.
What if your damage is bad?
Well, then you're, as they say, up the creek without a paddle or whatever.
Oh, man, I don't want to be that. It doesn't sound fun.
Nobody does.
Can you imagine not having a paddle? Like,
somebody probably enjoys that, I guess.
You gotta, like,
I don't make the rules. I just
kick your
follow
legs. You gotta kick your legs out the back.
So swimming is what you mean.
Yeah, Tommy Bordeaux, soundbite machine here on JTN. There's the command. I always like a good command. Start one of these races, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of sound pack you have on, but I had a very, very vocal one. It fired me up.
Ready to go. Davey Hazard, Wong Do, row 1. Ricky Collette, Jamie Zalecki, row 2. Zalecki, of course, we kind of mentioned it for a quick second. There's your Dash for Cash drivers at the bottom of the screen. Zalecki in the 07, Zach Krastowski, Trey Coleman, Cal Laval, Garrett Sidner, Ray Tustin, and John Peterson, those Dash for Cash drivers, all named left to right. Zalecki qualified the highest out of them. Whoever finishes first, comes across the line first out of those 7 drivers is going to take home $25, where second place will make back their $10 entry fee for tonight's Dash for Cash event. Well, we're ready to go. Pace car makes its way down pit road. Davey Hazard's going to lead them to green, and we're underway from Daytona.
Boy, a familiar sight up there. That shoe machine of Davey Hazard leads the way early on here. Won the pole, had a nice lap, got a Toyota to his outside. That's Wong Do in the 54. A fan favorite for sure.
Fan favorite for sure, and Hazard on the bottom. Was a little lonely. That 98 of Ricky Collette did not get a good start.
Yeah, not a great start for Ricky there. He's got himself, his feet under himself right now. Lost a spot early, but it shouldn't matter too much as this race progresses.
We'll see how it plays out. Zalecki now up into second, all over the back bumper of the 75 of Hazard. Further on back, it's a cluster. Steven Merzlak outside 3 wide now in that Ford body armor machine.
Yeah, Merzlak, a very late entrant to this race. Didn't think they were going to race this weekend. Decided to come on down to the track in Florida after winning the Truck Series Championship here at the USORL last night. Up in Nashville. 1 race left in that, but he's locked it up. He's had a phenomenal season. Up front again, it's Davey Hazard. They're single file for these first 5 cars, but then behind them, still side by side, deep into the pack.
Someone I want to see, it's this 51 car, Matthew Steelman. I want to see him be a little aggressive tonight, Tommy. He's one of the guys that, oh, we got smoke and we got a wreck.
Oh,
Big one. Big one, middle of the field, everyone around. Wong Do, Ray Tustin, Jeff Dixon. Cars through the grass. That's going to be our first yellow of the night.
Well, Joe, it did not take very long, but our first big one of the night, 100% doesn't lie, Joe. 100% doesn't lie.
No, it does not. Let's get you a replay. We aren't restarting, right? We're over a lap.
Correct. This race is official.
My goodness. Here's the replay. 54 of Doe. Oh, he blew up, Tommy.
Oh, and that's tragic.
That is absolutely horrendous. For all of...
Reckon on the pacing here, it looks like we're going to be restarting.
What?
Drivers have voted to restart, and we are going to be restarting this race. It's as if it never even happened. Call 1-800-SERVE-PRO to have your disaster cleanup like the one you just saw on your screen. We aren't affiliated with ServPro, but if they want to, let me know.
Yeah. Business inquiries, right? But you know who we are affiliated with, Tommy? Circle B Diecast and Plan B Sales. Diecast special, folks. Go over to circlebdiecast.com. Enter code JTN at checkout on your order of $20 or more, and you're going to get free shipping if you're in the United States. That's, again, circlebdiecast.com. Order over $20 or more. Use code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order. You like Diecast, right, Tommy?
Diecast. I'm actually working, Joe, you know about this, but I'm working on a custom diecast for myself. There's the command to start the engines once again.
Just the same enthusiasm for a second time. I love it.
Yeah, I'm very. I'm impressed. You don't get that kind of enthusiasm everywhere. People, you love to see passionate people.
I did a diecast review now up on JTN. You can go check it out after this race. Chase Briscoe's Darlington win 124 from last year, so go check that out. Kind of talk about the significance of the win. Make a little spin on a diecast review. Tommy, that's what we like to do here. We put spins on things. Not cars, though. Not cars.
I'm just saying, these drivers might be spinning out like we saw just a couple of moments ago, but we have reset, and the field is back to where it was before Wong Do's engine blew up. The pace car makes the hard left turn down the pit road, and green flag waves. We're back racing at Daytona.
Maybe I was bad luck calling the first start.
Well, this time they don't have a reset in their pocket, so everybody's got to stay intact and together this time side by side up front. And this time, Joe, Ricky Collette got the good start that he wanted.
Yeah, that Miller Lite machine of Collette all over the back bumper of Davey Hazard. Those two worked very effectively together in the Fast Renegade Series a couple weeks ago here at Daytona. Led the whole race, ran 1-2. Big wreck at the end of the race. Got Collette past Hazard for the victory.
Those two, no strangers to the top two positions at Daytona, and of course for Davey Hazard, no stranger to first place all season long, coming off a win last week at Bristol. That was in the Bean machine tonight. He's brought the shoe car out. Everybody loves the shoe car.
Well, and Tommy, you say no stranger to victory lane here at Daytona. Look who's running third. It's the 3-car. Noah Joyce in the KCMG machine running in third right now ahead of Matthew Steelman. Again, I said it the first time we went green. I want to see some aggressive moves out of that 51 tonight. He's really got to make a push for the playoffs, especially after missing a race earlier in the season.
Well, maybe he's doing it, Joe, following our Daytona winner, Noah Joyce, up there behind him. I'll tell you, that 51 car was towards the front late before a final yellow took him out of contention last time we were here. Perhaps that 51 car can get it done tonight. It's Toyota, Ford, Chevy, the top three.
A great mix of manufacturers up front. Give that lap to Noah Joyce.
Yeah, that 3-car back out in front at Daytona. Joe, we've heard that phrase uttered in racing history for quite a long time. Noah Joyce, trying to defend his crown, moves ahead of Davey Hazard. He takes the lead outright.
I love
turn 2.
I love that move right there, because you know that 75 of Hazard does not like to be behind anyone. He's going to be pushing really hard here at the start to try to get back to the lead. And now Steelman trying to get up by on the outside of Joyce, trying to get to the point for the first time tonight.
Look, that middle line's got some good speed, Joe. Right behind Steelman, it's the 49 of John Peterson pushing him. A couple weeks ago at Talladega in the Truck Series, John Peterson did a great job pushing me up through the field on the middle and high line. Although, there, Joe, a little bit out of line. They've got to get more organized if they want a chance to pass some cars.
And how hard is that to get organized here, especially early on in the race? A lot of times when we talk with drivers after the fact, at any of these USORL races, they talk about rhythm and trying to get into that rhythm, settle in. Right now, it's early on, and it's really hard to settle in as Peterson looks to the outside of Steelman, and that's going to discombobulate that outside line even more.
Yeah, Joe, they were thrown in the discombobulator 3000 out of turn 2 right there. And that can happen sometimes at the beginning of these races. And everyone's maybe just a little bit nervous, little on edge. And when you start double file like that, everybody's going to be packed up together really closely. So everyone's going to be a little bit extra careful to make sure they don't run into each other. Sometimes, Joe, things get jumbled up and we have a wreck. So far, though, so good. John Peterson looks like he's getting shuffled out of line, though.
Those drivers not taking too kindly to Peterson trying to make a move on Steelman, who was leading that outside line. Now to the front of the Dash for Cash drivers, it's Ray Tustin right now, going to now second on the outside.
Yeah, and he's following Darren Ingram up there on that outside line. So a completely different 1-2 on the outside line than we saw start this lap. Let's see if they can get anything going up there. No one has quite yet. And Noah Joyce and Davey Hazard lead on the bottom.
Leading on the bottom, Hazard just kind of settling in right now. Looks like Ricky Collette also trying to do the same. Big moment there for Steelman, tried to get in line in front of the 77 of Jack Healy. Healy not letting him get in, though.
Really, he won at Talladega earlier this season, locked himself into the playoffs with another first-time Cup Series winner at a superspeedway. So, Joe, this is our third superspeedway of the season, and we could have another first-time winner if, I don't know, someone like Ricky Collette could get up there and win tonight.
Ricky Collette won this race a few years ago, Tommy.
That's right, Joe, he did.
This very race, so I believe Ricky could get it done. First-time winner, though.
Michael Murata is in this field.
Has he never won over here?
Well, I don't think he's won a Cup race.
Well, there you go. Is that who you're picking if we get a first-timer tonight?
I'll pick him. I'll pick Michael Murata, and you know what, Joe? I was looking at the stats before this race. He could use a good turnaround, too.
Yeah, he needs it. I actually, about 2 months ago, Mikey was sitting about 5 points outside the bubble, outside the playoffs, Tommy, and I decided to open my big mouth and said Mikey needs a win. Well, now that 55 team is in a position where they're going to need a win, and right now Mikey's just, if we can find him, he's back in the back of the pack right now, just trying to ride it out.
Yeah, well, knowing Michael, I mean, he's great at these races, these plate tracks here, Joe. And he's running that strategy where he just stays in the back, tries to keep himself safe and out of trouble. Of course, he's had a lot of issues being in trouble this season thus far. One driver who's also now in the back, that's 3-car Noah Joyce, surrendered the lead to Hazard, and now it's the triumvirate of Hazard, Collette, and Merzlak up front.
Yeah, Noah Joyce, that's kind of odd. What's the play there to go to the back when you're in the lead? I mean, the lead's probably the safest place. The back may be a little bit safer, but we've seen guys just pile into wrecks here at Daytona in recent weeks.
Yeah, but no, Joe, I mean, there's a couple of things that just might go into play here. Car maybe not feeling as good as he wanted. Perhaps also, too, another thing he wanted to do was not lead this line. When you lead the line, you're on the gas the whole time and you're not saving any fuel. Perhaps that 3-car sneaking ahead on strategy wanted to save just a little bit of gas.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit of my love to you. You know?
I do.
If I sang it, we would get copyright strike. Oh, Steven Merzlak decided to duck out of line. He's probably going to come up here in the booth and whack me over the head for my terrible singing.
Yeah, well, he's filling back now, so join the 3 of Noah Joyce. And that moves Cal Lovell up to 3rd place in that 12 car. So we've got a little bit of a mix here in the top 5 between a few different manufacturers. Toyota, Ford, Dodge in 4th.
Ooh, Dodge!
English, who, remember, Joe, back at Daytona to start the season, won one of those dual races.
Yeah, he did, and I was about to say that, Tommy, because it's an important thing to note, because it was, I believe that was the finish with Hazard, where they made contact coming down the back straightaway. You know, Davey obviously already had the pole locked up, just decided to let it rip down into the inside wall, or something happened. And English won that race. Not shocking to see him up front right now, but I'm wondering how comfortable these guys are racing around that 32 since he's not a full-timer.
Well, sometimes you got to deal with that, though, Joe, is these guys who come in just for the super speedways, but you got to remember, they're part of the race just as you are, and who knows, maybe they're just, oh no, Joe,
no!
talk about them.
What a save!
Oh my goodness.
How did he save it?
That was incredible, Joe. There were cars everywhere out of shape, and they held on.
My goodness.
Well, just as I was talking about them, they made a show of it. Sean English now falling deep back into the field, but his car, at least, is safe and intact.
Hey, everyone's car's still safe and intact, working lap number 11 out of 80. We're an eighth of the way through this race, Tommy. Is now the time to push? Can I start pushing now, crew chief?
I wouldn't push now. In fact, at this point of this race, it looks like everybody, after that incident at least, is back in single file along the bottom. Maybe we'll see these guys migrate to the top lane later on. I know these guys were talking about the junior line a couple weeks ago at Talladega in the truck series as well. Perhaps somebody might want to replicate that, although thus far Davey Hazard looks uninterested in any antics such as those.
Just ride the bottom right now. You got a big spoiler on the back. Just ride the bottom.
That's what he's doing. Tell you one car that's trying to get back into this line here. It's on the outside. That's the 42 of William Page. William Page stuck in no man's land. Can't get down.
How frustrating is that? Big moment for Steven Merzlak, the back of this line.
Oh, it's very frustrating. Not at super speedways early on in the race necessarily, but later in the going, if you're trying to make a move and try and get up front to win the race and nobody goes with you, boy, that can tear your hair out. And but right now, I think this 42 car, he's doing okay. He's hanging there all right.
He's just hanging out. He's just vibing, you know?
He is.
He got in line finally in front of the 54 Doe. Hey, he's got TWB sticker on that car.
Of course he does, and I appreciate that.
Well, the car out front has a JTN sticker on it. That's Davey Hazard, followed by Ricky Collette, Cal Laval, Cam Barnes, and Darren Ingram. Darren made quick work trying to get up to the front of this field in that 23 blue car with red numbers and Mikey Murata on pit road. Have to follow up on that story in a second here, Tommy.
Yeah, well, you just mentioned Darren Ingram. Right in front of him is that 7 car. Cam Barnes got a great Daytona USA paint scheme on that 7 machine. Looking great out there, just like an old arcade machine.
That Daytona USA game's fun, man.
Yeah, and everybody knows the jingle, but again, if we sang that, we'd be in the doghouse.
Yeah, Bristol would throw us in there immediately.
Like you mentioned, Micah Murata, a couple laps ago, Joe, fell out of the racing server. Their transponder had an issue. They had to come down pit road, get that fixed. He'll be back to 1 lap down as we're 3 wide in the tri-oval.
Cam Barnes did not want to be behind Darren Ingram. Ingram threw a big block coming into the tri-oval. Cam said, no, 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 and he's going to make his way around. That 23 is going to go to the back.
After all that shuffling, the 32 car of Sean English into the outside wall there, he fell back hard now at the back of this pack.
Well, he's going to be caught by Garrett Sidner in that orange and white 16 at the back of your screen. You also saw that bright-colored, multicolored, not black with the multicolored 8 car of Trey Coleman. Those two in the Dash for Cash buying into that strategy right now of, hey, I'm going to stay at the back. I'm going to just cool my jets for a little bit, take it easy, and then hope this thing comes to me.
Well, speaking of the Dash for Cash, Joe, Cal Lovell in 3rd place right now in the race, but first in the Dash for Cash order. Good for him. That's a cool $40 going to his pocket if he can stay there. He just has, 65 more laps to go.
Isn't it $25?
I'll double check that, Joe.
I got it up. Hold on. Let me. Yep, 25.
I'm seeing 35. So we were both wrong.
35's to John.
45's to John.
Which one are you looking at? This is Daytona. Are you looking at Anchorage?
Yeah, I was looking at Anchorage.
Ah, goodness, Tommy. That was a few weeks ago, and you can go check it out after this race right here on JTN. Thanks for reminding me, Tommy, to plug the JTN YouTube page where you can find all the live race replays at the click of a button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click it. It's free, as well as hitting the like button on this video. We appreciate it. Try to get this one up to 25 likes. How about that? Is that a good goal? I think it's a good goal.
I think that's reasonable. Hey, Joe, that was also the premiere, the world premiere, I might say, of Tommy's World was at Anchorage. So, Hey, if you want to see that, go ahead and check it out.
And make sure you hit the like button on that video, and you'll also be able to see the replay of Tommy's World separately, of course, after we go off the air tonight with the Red Bull Cup Series events here on JTN.
Meanwhile, Joe, check out this outside line being led by Jeff Dixon II, who started at the tail end of this field. He's got a couple pals behind him in Cam Barnes and William Page. They're making it work on the high side.
Well, there's a little history there between the 75 of Hazard and the 15 of Dixon. Davey was very outspoken, not happy a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago now, at Chicagoland with the way the end of that race went down where Dixon won. Hurt feelings, maybe, was a good way to point it out. Obviously, now is not the time to retaliate over anything, of course. But Dixon going to the lead in 3 and 4.
Really impressive what they were able to do up there. See what happens when you get organized up there. Just a couple laps ago, we were single file on the bottom. Now we've got an outside lane. This guy's did a great job getting towards the front. Jeff Dixon is going to lead this lap.
And if he can get out in front of that 75, what do you think the first move he does is?
Well, I think he's going to go to the bottom, Joe, but so far he's staying up on the high side. He just might be content to stay up there, seeing how it's gotten him to the lead, and it seems to be faster at the moment. They're about even on the number of cars, but they seem to be just a little bit more organized, and they're going to have that momentum off the back straightaway, which, as you can see, is pulling them even further ahead.
And now Cam Barnes clear of the 75 of Hazard. Dixon goes to the bottom here in 3 and 4, or no, he chooses to go back up. That's it. Man, you got to be careful about playing those 2 lanes, especially early on in one of these races.
He could get away with it so far. I mean, he shaded down there a little bit, but he had plenty of room to Davey in the 75. Just don't get too comfortable and stop paying attention, because next thing you know, that 75 car is going to be at your rear quarter panel. Next thing you know, you're turning to the inside wall.
And right, we're coming up on lap traffic. It's the 13. It's not Austin Spencer this week. It's Richard Pleasant filling in for Spencer in that 13 machine. They're coming up on that lap car really fast right now, Tommy.
Big speed difference between the 2 cars here. 189 for that 13, 200 miles an hour for the 15. They go by fast, Joe.
Can you make a sound that would sound like the car's going by?
Yum,
Yum, yum, yum, yum, yum. Right?
Hey, check it out. It's the junior line, Joe. Jeff Dixon's making it work up there.
Hey, he's the Pied Piper of Daytona. Never mind, Matthew Steelman and Sean Whitehill to the bottom.
That's interesting too, Joe, because those two were a pretty integral part at getting that high line up towards the front. So now they know what it takes to get up there. Now they're going to try their hand at leading this race to see if they can get back to it on the bottom line. But thus far, I'll tell you what, this 15, 7, and 42 of Dixon, Barnes, and William Page, they've got to be careful. But what I've noticed they're doing over other cars, either on the bottom line or deeper in the top line, they are hooked up to each other's bumpers, just like there was a magnet on each one of their front bumpers and rear bumpers. They're really sticking together, and that's helping them get up to the front.
Well, that's where you get the phrase that is the worst fear of any NR 2003 driver. What is it, Tommy? Do you know it? Bumper grab. You don't want that. In bumpers, they just grab each other, you know?
Yeah, well, and that could be a bit of an incident, too, with Jeff Dixon up front, because, Joe, we know in the past, Jeff Dixon had some warping issues in previous races. So far, so good. Not too bad, but that's something to watch out for.
Well, we're coming up on pit stops, so that's another thing to watch. It's a lot more. You see all this room down here coming to pit road at Daytona, but it's a lot harder than it looks, especially because you're kind of managing your own car, your own brakes, as well as everyone around you. And, you know, navigating through that traffic can be difficult coming to pit road. We're going to be doing that in a couple laps or so.
Yeah, it's not a single file line when you come down pit road. It's more like a swarm, and all those drivers are trying to get the most out of their pit road entry as they can, and you're going to have a large variance of speeds, too, on how much these drivers are pushing it in. Could cause an incident. We've seen it before. Wouldn't be surprised to see it again, especially how everyone's still on top of each other over a quarter of the way into this race.
Still on top of each other. My goodness. Ooh, Steelman all over the back bumper of Dixon. Dixon a little extra warpy. Dan Asher pointed out in chat that it looks like there's a lot of server lag tonight. That's kind of that back and forth we see a lot of the... I can't talk. With a lot of the race cars, isn't it, Tommy?
Yeah, it kind of looks like there's a miniature earthquake going on, but rest forward, there's no tectonic activity that we know of. It's just internet issues.
The situation, Tommy Bordeaux, everybody.
Sean Whitehill has found himself at this bottom line, getting a nice push from Davey Hazard. I think Davey's realized what it's going to take to get a fast line going, and that's pushing this two car up to the front of it. Yeah. So far, they have a little bit of a half car length lead ahead of 15 of Jeff Dixon. And down onto the front straightaway, perhaps Sean Whitehill's going to lead this lap as long as they carry the momentum. And they do. Sean Whitehill to the point.
And getting some bonus points. Again, that playoff bubble is so close right now with a lot of these guys. John, one of the guys that's right there trying to make his way into the playoffs that begin in just over a month's time.
Yeah, and Joe, with every race that passes, it's just going to tighten up more and more. The chances are dwindling for these drivers to lock themselves in with wins. And tonight at Daytona might be one of the greatest remaining chances yet, it being, of course, the superspeedway.
Yeah, because what after this, we have the Daytona road course, then we go to New Hampshire. Michigan, I believe, is on the schedule. Not a lot of big events where I think we could see a surprise winner make it to victory lane left in this schedule leading up to the playoffs.
I would say probably this race in Michigan was going to be your last call for Hail Mary, really, and we'll take a look as this race develops to see if any of those drivers who are desperately needing that win can find their way to the front. One of them, Matthew Steelman in the 51, standing out strong on the outside lane. He would love a victory tonight, Joe. Oh,
he would love a victory, and I'd love to see Mr. Steelman get one. I mean, such a tough season so far for that 51 team. It'd be great to see them get those sponsors to victory lane here tonight at Daytona, but I do have a little bit of extra affection to that number 2 car out front for some reason. I can't put my finger on it, but I'd really love to see that 2 car in victory lane.
Yeah, I wonder why. Well, that Ford Mustang up front is still doing a good job leading these laps. Jeff Dixon and Sean Whitehill currently up front at this race. It's the USORL Red Bull Cup Series at Daytona. Dash for Cash race, and a little Dash for Cash update right now for you. Looks like things have definitely changed. Cal Lovell no longer the leader of the Dash for Cash. I believe it's the 42. No, excuse me, No, it looks like it is. Cal Lovell still leads the way, although he's back in 8th position, Joe.
Well, he's hanging right there. Zalecki, next guy in line. Couple cars back on the outside of that 07, that white and purple machine on your screen. Cal in the ups machine, right? That's how you say it, ups?
Yeah, a special thing on that car this week, Joe. He's got the chrome rims on there. My goodness, you know how I feel about chrome rims. I'm loving the look of that car.
Everything looks better in chrome, right?
Agreed. And in fact, I saw this on Twitter today, Joe. We are 1,996 years away from the date that SpongeBob traveled into the future.
Oh, Sean English in the wall. Sorry, Tommy. That's a great fact, but English hard in the wall. Turn number 3. Cal coming to pit road. Merzlak, English. DJ Harris all coming to pit road. We'll stay with the leaders.
Now is the point where we're going to start seeing pit stops here, Joe. I think these 4 that came down to pit road are going to have a little bit of an advantage just because there were less of them coming down here. So less cars to try and navigate through on your way to your pit stall.
That's always a good thing, right? I mean, you don't want to come down pit road with a bunch of guys. You know, it increases your chances of running into people coming to your box. I have a feeling there's a lot of hands out the window right now, though, getting ready to come to pit road. It's 55 and Mikey Murata. Oh, buddy, get out of the way. There's a storm of brewing behind you.
Here comes the 75 of Davey Hazard, as is a whole lot of cars.
Oh, buddy, Ely smoking those tires. Everybody gets to pit road okay. Go back to our leaders. Oh!
Wow! A little bit of shuffling now. Sean Whitehill maintains his lead, but the 42 of William Page and the 15 of Jeff Dixon side by side a little bit there.
And cars now coming off of pit road down the back straightaway. Interesting to see how these guys merge up in front of the faster race vehicles that still have not come to pit road.
Some of the treachery of green flag pit stops at Daytona. You're seeing it right in front of you live here at JTN. I suspect we'll see some more cars down here.
Oh, Jeff Dixon!
For Jeff Dixon.
Everybody else coming to pit road.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, this is really tense.
Cal just got forced to pit road. Oh, Garrett Sidner through the grass. Hard into the pit wall. Oh, my.
We saw that, actually. I think it was Garrett Sidner do the same thing last time we were here.
Garrett, buddy. And Garrett's on a keyboard, so maybe something there. But you know who's really mad right now?
Who? Go.
The 12 of Calaball. He pretty much just got forced back to pit road there.
Yeah, that's brutal. That poor 12 car. Not a good situation for him and his Dash for Cash hopes.
Well, here's Sean Whitehill going to win the race off pit road. Zalecki, Page, Trey Coleman, and Jeff Dixon, your top 5. But there's a pack of formed-up race cars coming behind him through the tri-oval now.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to have the advantage. Perhaps Sean Whitehill and Jimmy Zalecki are going to get away with this pack, but couple of cars further back on pit road having issues, the 99 of Jesse Dalton and the 11 of Antonio Ruiz. Here come our leaders flying by these cars that just pit.
They're going to get back down to the bottom. So Hazard, Healy, Wongdo, your top 3. Then Oakley and Sean Whitehill fill out your top 5.
Looks like Sean Whitehill and Jake Oakley are going to be okay. They should be able to hook up and get to this lead pack. If not, there's quite a few cars behind them that I think can catch these leaders, given that there's only about 3 or 4 of them.
Well, you got to work together, though, Tommy. You can't do any of this side-by-side stuff for too long because those guys that are single file out front, they're going to be able to get away from you.
Yeah, Joe, and that's what I'm liking what I'm seeing from these top 4 now. Jake Oakley coming into the picture nicely, is they are doing just that, staying in line, working together. They're outnumbered, sure, but at this rate, Joe, they look pretty good. We'll have to see if this group behind them can catch at any decent rate.
The California Poppy writing in, wasn't it Squidward that time traveled? You are correct. I misspoke. It was Squidward that time traveled to meet SpongeBob from the future. 1,996 years from now, to the day. March 6th.
March 6th. Almost not March 6th where I am, Tommy.
That is right, Joe. Eastern time. They'll do, yeah.
It's a killer, man. It's a killer.
I'll tell you what. Here comes this pack. They've caught him, and they caught him quick. It just took a lap or two, and things are all back to where they were before.
Ryan Pace writing in, stay in line, work together. How many times are these guys hitting that key right now?
Probably a bunch. Looks like we've got the 13, 14 cars together. Noah Joyce and Jeff Dixon, stragglers on this group. I think they'll be able to hang. But back from them, Zach Kostowski, DJ Harris, Ray Tustin, Chris Pickett, and John Peterson working together, filling out the top 20. But off of this main pack.
How disappointing is that? I mean, it's disappointing, right? I mean, but how... Are you kind of hopeful that maybe you get a caution as this race goes on? Are you like, what's the thought process right now for those guys that have kind of lost this main pack?
I can tell you the thought process right now, Joe. The only thing occupying their mind is that they hope they get a caution. That's the only way they're going to get back into this race that I can see, Joe. I don't think they're going to make it up on track. They're outnumbered. I don't think they can make it up on pit road because they're just going to be consistently losing time because they have less cars. So the only thing they have at this point, Joe, is going to be hoping for a caution.
Caution? I just haven't seen it from these guys tonight. These cars look a little more stable than they were when we came here for the season opener a couple months ago, Tommy. These guys just able to kind of keep these cars going. A-OK as Huang Do goes to the outside in front of Oakley, trying to get around this 77 car at Healy and also trying to look for the lead now on the outside.
Yeah, that outside line's got some oomph to it. F54 doing a good job leading it. I think they found the secret sauce. Certainly staying in line and working together has done it. Michael Morata is also at the end of this lead pack. He's not on the lead lap, but he is the first car one lap down. So he is in position for the lucky dog if he were to have a yellow flag. But it's also very beneficial to Mike. He stays with this lead pack as well.
Well, yeah, because he'll be able to stay ahead of any cars that they do put a lap down because he'll be up to speed, of course. Right now, it looks like the next pack is just about a straightaway and a half maybe away. So it's going to be interesting to see if these guys here, if them staying side by side kind of halts their progression towards lapping some more of these race vehicles tonight.
We'll see. They have a lot of ground to make up on the racetrack, but certainly if we're going to be fighting side by side like you see here, Jake Gilkey to the inside of Huang Do. Looks like that outside line. I don't know, Joe. It seems like when guys are on the outside line and they get to the lead or near the lead, they jump out to the low line and try and get up front.
Why is that? Like, why? What is that? I don't get it, right? You commit to something, right? If you commit to the outside, you got to commit. 100%, right?
I think there's the big belief that because the inside line is the shorter way around the racetrack, it's automatically going to be faster. That is, in a very general sense, true. But these guys feel like it's just going to be the preferred lane, even if you only have a couple cars behind you versus a larger outside line. That being said, this outside line is staying even with the 17 of Jake Oakley, and they are very, very close at the line.
Oh, no! We saved it again!
Unbelievable. And that's the part of the track, Joe. Not only did we have that previous incident there, but we had a lot of wrecks happen there in the season opener, too.
Are these guys just better now, Tommy? Are they just built different now?
You know, they could be, Joe. Well, I'll tell you what. These guys still want to win. They're still going to be aggressive. They're at least able to hang on to these cars.
You know who's being aggressive right now? It's that 4 body armor machine. It's Steven Merzlak. He went the outside, back to the inside, to the outside, to the inside, to the outside, to the inside there, coming down the back straightaway into the corner, now going back to the outside, back to the inside. I feel like I wouldn't want to be a spotter right now.
Yeah, a little dizzying there. A little Dash for Cash update for all of you in the chat. We only have, it looks like, one of these cars in the Dash for Cash up in this lead group. It's the 07 of Jamie Zalecki, who's now leading the Dash for Cash by virtue of being the only one in the lead pack.
No, Trey Coleman's leading the Dash for Cash right now, Tommy, in the 8 car.
You're right. I forgot he was in the 8 car. Good point, Joe.
Did you say it and I just completely missed you?
No, I just didn't realize he was in the 8 car. I'm used to him being in anything else but the 8 car. I don't know why.
Well, there he is. He's leading that outside line, so you can see it a little bit better now. They're coming up on lap traffic. That's Garrett Sidner going to go another lap down here. Had to make a second pit stop to serve a penalty for entering a pit road incorrectly because he, you know, went through the grass. Thankfully, didn't tear the splitter off. Thank you, NR 2003. That was fun opening Twitter today and seeing the whole splitter valence argument, and not knowing who wrecked, but knowing exactly what happened, you know?
I do know, and if I could put my 2 cents in, valence
oh my
is only
goodness.
one problem. You also got to raise those cars up off the ground. You're also
Yes,
going to solve
sir.
a lot more problems than tearing up front ends of race cars if you raise the cars up off the ground.
Amen.
That's my opinion.
You're preaching to the choir right now. Bring back ride height rules, but don't make them stupid. Don't, like... Oh, this would be such a good conversation if we weren't watching this amazing race at Daytona for the USORL Red Bull Cup Series. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to us here on JTN. We'd appreciate it. We're on the road to 500. Try to get up to 25 likes tonight. We're at 20, Tommy. We're 5 away. And of course, once we get to 25, we'll ask you to keep pushing it. But, you know, 20 is really good. We really want 25, and we want to keep going past that. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, getting really close right now. Just over 470 today.
Yeah, we're making our way there. 500, half of 1,000. I mean, that's the real deal. That is something else, and it's all because of these great fans that we have to support us. Couldn't do it without you, the fans, gentlemen. So thank you, gentlemen.
Gentlemen. Make sure you also head on over. There's a bunch of links in the description. You can check them all out. Head on over to our Twitter page. Give us a follow over there where we post memes from time to time too, Tommy. I think we posted a pretty good one last week.
I think it's sensational.
So, I mean, you can go check that out. We also make sure we post whenever videos go live or we have live streams and tell you what, you know, the day before, a couple hours before. That way you can block off some time to come join us live on these broadcasts here on JTN. So make sure you go over to our Twitter page, give us a follow, as well as like our Facebook page. That would be a big help to us as well. Mikey Murata coming back to pit road. He's got to get some fuel in that 55 machine.
That's going to be a herder for him, being off sequence, and now he is not in position for the lucky dog. That to Garrison Sidnor in the 16. Excuse me, Sidnor is actually 3 laps down now, Joe. So it's going to be the 13 of Richard Pleasant who's in the lucky dog spot. But of course, Joe, that provides we have a yellow, which so far, and I'll probably jinx it right here, we haven't yet. We've had a couple close calls outside of the tri-oval going down into turn 1, but hey, these guys have hung on to it like the masters of sim racing that they are.
And Tommy, we just got over 25 likes. I'd just like to thank everyone at home for... Let's keep pushing. What's another good number, Tommy?
30.
Yeah.
30 for Parker Kligerman in 2013.
Oh, man, that lending tree machine.
Yeah.
Juan Racing had some beautiful numbers. I know you love them, but...
I do, and in fact, that's what my 57 is based off of. So.
Oh, Sean Whitehill on the apron. Buddy, no. Bad bump probably from the 54. It's a little bit of that bump-a-gwab, you know?
A little bit, and he got it back up, and that's, I think, these drivers realizing we still got, Joe, less than halfway to go now, but still plenty of time. And these guys just settling in, just trying to do their best, chill, make sure they can make it to the end of the race. We're in 2 distinct lines right now, but this bottom line has really become dominant with Jake Oakley at the front.
Oakley doing a good job in that 17 Chevrolet. We've seen those Chevys really able to lead the line, Tommy. I know I'm maybe going off into the realm of fabrication here, but that pointed Chevy nose really seems to work good here at Daytona.
Well, we've seen so many drivers in Chevrolets win the pole in real life at Daytona, and why not here? It was Davey Hazard in the Toyota, of course, who won the pole tonight, but it's a Chevy up front, and early on it was also Noah Joyce that was leading this race for a bit too, so Well, like you said, Joe, Chevrolet's doing a good job representing here. The bow ties up front.
You ever worn a bow tie, Tommy?
Worn one, yes.
Did you tie it?
Well, I think I've worn one tie one and a couple clip-ons way back in the day.
Did you like them?
I think they're good. I don't think they're in fashion these days, but if I became a science teacher, it would be a must-wear.
There you go. Oakley out front right now. Hazard, Healy, Whitehill, and Doe, your top 5. Trey Coleman sitting there in 6th, in the position to win the Dash for Cash prize. Again, $25 to the guy of those drivers that you see right below our ticker, right-hand side of your screen. All those numbers, those are your Dash for Cash drivers tonight here. If any one of those guys, whoever finishes the highest out of those drivers is going to win $25. Second place out of those guys is going to win $10, make their money back on their entry fee for the Dash for Cash tonight. You gotta love NR. It's free to join these online leagues, Tommy.
Nothing quite like it. It's good to see people putting resources into the game, whether that be actual financial resources or they're just time and creativity. You love to see the NR 2003 community when it's together as one, Joe, all united in a love for this now 18-year-old game.
That's what it all boils down to, Tommy, is a passion for a game that we all have no business playing in 2021. We've kept it alive, and we're glad to bring you all these live races right here on JTN. With that being said, though, it's a good time to talk about our upcoming races presented by TWB Technologies. Together we are better. First race for us with the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from Phoenix this Thursday night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll kick off our coverage there. We're going to follow their Cup Series, sounds like, for the rest of the year. Subtract a couple of dates, but that'll be exciting because we've kind of done it here with the USORL. It's been really fun, and we're going to do it there with those guys on Thursday nights. TMP late models the following Monday, March 15th from Disney World. We're going to Disney World. I've said it every time. I got to keep saying it. 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Then again, the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from Atlanta, 9:05. The USORL Cup Series March 20th from New Hampshire. I think this guy in the booth next to me is actually going to go take a crack at winning another one at that track. Coverage at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time. TMP late models then the following Monday, March the 22nd from Richmond, which is their finale for that series. So a championship will be crowned for the TMP late models. All, of course, live only on JTN.
Yeah, Joe, you know, the last time I was racing at New Hampshire on JTN, it didn't end the way I wanted it to. We did get a historic moment that remains in the JTN intro at the very least, so we've got that going for me.
What?
The dash race at New Hampshire.
No, we got a new intro, Tommy.
You kept it part of the old one, or that part.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, Joseph Weaver not very happy with me, but, you know, he builds your car, so.
Well, yeah, he's listen, when it comes to Weaver, he's gonna have to take what he can get. That's all we're in Weaver's backyard.
We are!
And we're coming to just 30 laps to go this time by. This race is gone by quickly, especially when you don't have any cautions. Joe, the 100%. We did have a big one, but I guess technically we didn't in this race. It doesn't count.
The Highline, oh man, we need, if we were to get an incident, right? I'm gonna use the word incident because we've had two really good chances at having one, and these guys just showed their talent.
Colloquially, in the USORL, we call those funnies.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, that's some insider info.
Is that the phrase used down in the garage area?
Right. If you're looking for a caution, don't say the C word. Say funny instead.
Oh my. Why would you say it then?
Well, you gotta communicate somehow. I don't know.
And Bristol over in the producer truck is hitting a button I've never seen before, and oh no, it looks like there's debris on the racetrack. Just kidding.
False alarm, folks. This race is still green. we are still under green flag conditions here at Daytona International Speedway.
Right now, again, this top 14 just broken away from the rest of the field. It's Jake Oakley out front, Davey Hazard, Jack Healy, Sean Whitehill, and Huang Do, your top 5. Trey Coleman right now battling with Matthew Steelman for 6th. Coleman with the Dash for Cash lead right now.
Yeah, I think he's had it for longer than any other driver has tonight. At 8 cars, got to feel good. His only competition in this pack is the 07 Jamie Zalecki. So right now, those two both in the money. It's probably going to come down to them, but man, I'll tell you what, Joe, these guys don't want to wreck, Joe. They don't want to give us some entertainment. They just want to stay in line and work together.
They just want to win the race. I want to win the race. You know? However that song goes in my head. Hey, you know, this is pretty cool. Tyler Henry writes in, you guys are the people who got me in love with NR 2003. Aw, shucks.
How about that?
How about that?
How about that? I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's what we do. That's what we do. The JTN was formed out of the idea of providing broadcast solutions to leagues that at a reasonable rate, right, Tommy? And we're glad that we can get people along for the ride, and we bring you these pictures from these random leagues and races that have just become part of the JTN family at this point. We love all of them, and equally, because we're good parents, right, Tommy? We're good parents, so we love all our children equally, and we love you guys, all the JTN fans tuning in tonight. We appreciate you so much, and all the support you've shown us over the past year, almost year now, which is crazy to think, but yeah, we appreciate you guys. It's the moral of the story.
Yeah, and what it's built into, Joe, you mentioned those upcoming races, obviously adding the Bomb Squad Racing League here too. Quite the establishment we've got going on here, Joe. Of course, all credit to you in Bristol, though, for putting all this together. But and also the fans for coming along for the ride. Speaking of along for the ride, we've seen the same 2 cars up front for quite a few laps now here, Joe. It's the 17 of Jake Oakley. Behind him, the 75 of Davey Hazard. There's a bulldozer and a shoe leading the field.
And the shoes on the bulldozer, it's almost like he's hitting the pedal on the bulldozer, you know, getting it to go, pushing it forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
How fitting. Problems for Trey Coleman there in the 8. He's fallen back to the end of this pack. I wonder if, well, we should be coming up on pit stops here. Our second pit stop and final pit stops of the evening.
Yeah, and at the edge of your screen, just ahead, you can see a pack of cars that are to be lapped down, and they haven't gotten there yet, and I don't know if they are going to be a lap down before we get to pit stops or not, but this lead group is catching them at quite the quick rate.
Oh, and if you're that group up ahead, when do you want these guys to catch you? I mean, you don't want to go a lap down, but you want these guys to catch you before you have to pit or after?
I would hope for after, because I don't want to fall a lap down as long as I can hang on to that lead lap. Just hoping for a caution. If you get yourself stuck in a situation where you're trapped a lap down once we get a yellow, now you've got some real problems.
The outside lane starting to pick away at these 4 guys on the bottom. Steelman now even with Sean Whitehill, Huang Do, Trey Coleman, who are on that bottom lane, have decided to make their way and assimilate into that top lane. Now Joe back to the bottom. Ricky Collette, Steve Merzak. I think we might be coming to pit stops.
All these drivers trying to get in position the best they can to have a clean pit road entry. No takers yet, though, Joe, but we're getting close. I can feel it. I know what you're feeling. I feel it, too.
You just feel this weird energy, right? It's a pit stop. You can just feel the nerves of these drivers coming to pit. Because pit road, like we said, I mean, we saw that 16 of Garrett Sidner went way off the track through the grass. Looked like he was getting ready for the motocross race here in a few weeks at Daytona.
Yeah, lucky for him, no jumps in the infield yet.
Yet.
Things have definitely spread out here in this front pack as people try and get organized for their pit stops. So we are most certainly getting close. I think we're going to see some takers here. Here we go. A lot of cars from this lead pack.
Oh, and if you're those guys,
Jack Healy.
Oh no, Healy!
Really hot.
That's a little more than hot.
He might have brushed Davey Hazard in the 75 coming in.
Oh no, Ben and
77
Jerry's.
car sliding through the grass. Oh my goodness! And he's off the racetrack.
Did he retire?
He retired from this race.
Oh my!
Oh my goodness, Jack Healy, who was running third just a moment ago. Heartbreak for that Ben and Jerry's 77.
Let's see what happened there with Healy going on board the Ben and Jerry's on board. Coming to pit road off of turn 4. This is a replay.
Really close to Davey. He might have brushed him there, Joe.
It's like his throttle's stuck.
You know, it's funny you mention that. I know that 77 team has had a lot of throttle sticking issues in the past couple of weeks. It looks like it's struck again, Joe.
I mean, you just hear it revving. Right now, Sean Whitehill, your leader, he's still out here with this pack of cars that they were putting a lap down, as well as, I think, the 54 Wong Do, unless he's... No, it looks like he's coming up to speed now. An interesting play by Whitehill. He's going to have to get to the bottom here, try to get in front of this 98 of Collette, come to pit road by himself, and hope he can get back into the lead draft.
Yeah, it's a very interesting move, and he stuck himself in the middle of a lot of lap-down cars that might be a little bit slower, have damage. Although he does have the luxury of a free pit road, but Joe, he missed it.
What happened there?
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
I wonder if his game minimized or something, because that is... Well, he got just pit stop.
He got there at the end, but that's definitely going to be a penalty, and that's going to be...
That's a heartbreaker. Yeah, unless we get a yellow. But even then...
Which we have not yet, and Joe, with just 20 laps to go, time is winding down.
Hazard getting around the 8 of Trey Coleman. Is Coleman pit yet?
I don't think he's pit yet. I think the 42...
I think he did pit. He's had to have pit.
Yeah, I think he just did now, along with the 42 of William Page and the 49 of John Peterson. And so things have shuffled out to what you see now. A handful of cars up there. One of them, Cal Lovell, in the 12 car, a Dash for Cash driver, a lap down actually. But Davey Hazard is going to retain the lead here. Jake Oakley fell a few spots.
What about this 42 of Page? Isn't he coming out in front of these guys?
I don't know. I think he is. He just pit. We'll see if he can hang on.
I don't think he'll be able to hang on, but I just want to give him credit for the lead if he's got the lead, you know?
He did lead that lap, Joe.
There we go. So William Page, big lead here at Daytona. Not what you want, which sounds really weird, but... Oh my goodness, they're going to be flying past this 42 here in a second.
Well, quite an interesting strategy from that 42. It's almost a little bit of Mr. Where did he come from? Because he wasn't really a factor just a couple laps ago.
Oakley in the grass, trying to pass cars getting up to speed off of pit road.
What a move. And if you're those cars coming out of pit road, I mean, just stay low. My goodness. But Oakley, that move is going to put him up in the top 3.
You know who really likes to see that, Tommy? It's that 42 of Page. He's just going to let him go by. I figured he might have been a little more on pace with these guys out front. So Trey Coleman's going to go to the lead, followed by Oakley and Cam Barnes, your top 3 now.
How about that? Cam Barnes, haven't mentioned his name in a while. He's wound himself up in a good position. Still a ways to go yet. It's almost crunch time, Joe. The laps are winding down. And we're getting to the real nitty-gritty of this, and we still have not had a caution all race long. I can't believe this.
This is a fantastic race being put together by these drivers here in the USORL Red Bull Cup Series. Make sure, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Let's get up to 30 likes, folks at home. We'd appreciate it if we could get there. Chat has been amazing tonight. We appreciate you guys tuning in, as always. Here live on JTN Saturday night with the USORL Red Bull Cup Series. Cam Barnes now taking the lead. Steelman going to take over second. Hazard trying to make his way back to the front. Oh, and he's got a good buddy there, Ricky Collette, behind him on the outside line.
Well, there's Ricky. We know how fast he is at super speedways. Right in front of him now, there pulls the 75 of Davey Hazard. Those two are trouble when it comes to these things. They're going to have a good shot at this thing if they can get that outside line moving. Ricky lagged out for a little bit there, though. That's going to hurt their momentum.
Let's see where Steven Merzlak goes. See if he tries to push that outside line as well with Hazard at the point. Looks like he's going to choose to do so. They're going to try to get something cooking up there.
Yeah, you know, it can work. It definitely can. But one of the big keys is going to be to have everybody nose to tail pushing each other on that high line. We'll have to see if anyone's willing to do that. Looks like the 98 of Ricky Collette is on Davey Hazard.
Gotta
and
push.
behind them, Steven Merzlak in the 4.
Push in the corners. I see people in chat saying don't push in the corners. No, push in the corners. Push, 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 push.
That's going to cause a problem.
Nah.
15 laps to go around this racetrack.
You say problem, I say new potential solution. Hazard
Richard Pleasant falling into the lap down.
at 13 car just having a terrible season. Obviously, Austin Spencer usually behind the wheel. Pleasant here tonight. Is Spencer not able to attend this race? At 13 team for EV Racing just not having a great
Pleasant run.
Jesus, Tommy.
Up front, a guy who is in control of the field right now. It's the 7 of Cam Barnes. Behind him, the Ford of Matthew Steelman in the 51. Joe, you were talking about it earlier on, how big that would be for this 51 team. They're in the right position. What do you think's going to happen?
I want to see some aggression out of Steelman in the 51. I want to see him push for it, man. He's got to get a victory to make his way into the playoffs. And tonight at Daytona, it's been his best shot all season long. I just want to see that 51 go for the jugular tonight. You know, I just want to see him go for it. And he's got Trey Coleman going for it all over his back bumper.
Yeah, I know how badly Matthew Steelman would love to win. It would mean a lot to him, not just for getting into the playoffs, but to build some confidence. You know, he's had some tough runs this season. Actually had some issues at the shop with one of the steering systems on his car. Frustrated with that, just trying to make things work. Finally, he's been able to sort those issues out, and it took a while, but this 51 car showing some speed here tonight. As we're winding down again, Joe, these laps just tick off so fast when we run under green.
Well, and Tommy, there's an interesting question posed by Tyler Henry in chat. He wonders how much does a manufacturer alliance matter here at Daytona tonight. I'm going to give you my take, and then you tell me what you think too, Tommy. I think it's more about your friends, right? A lot of times your friends are on your team, but there's instances, Ricky Collette, Davey Hazard, it's a really good combo at these super speedways. They work really well together. They're two completely different manufacturers tonight. I really think it's more so about your friends and who you trust rather than manufacturer, especially with the way this front pack is kind of splintered. Maybe your team alliances, but I think your friends are, you find out who your friends are, right?
No, I couldn't have said it better myself, Joe. Friends come in all different shapes and sizes when you need to win the race.
Downbit Tommy Bordeaux, the situation Tommy Bordeaux up here in the booth. I'm JoeTowNetwork. We're coming to 11 to go this time by at the line, Tommy. This thing's not as far from over.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left. These laps, they may be running around 200 miles an hour, but Joe, make no mistake, this is still a 2.5-mile track, so these lap times, they're in the 45-second range about. So we got a ways to go. That being said, if you're going to put yourself in a position to win this race, I'd say now is when you start to make those moves. Get yourself towards the front, because if you don't, and you do it too late, you might not have that shot at the end.
You just want a shot, right, Tommy? That's all a driver asks for at these super speedways. I just want a shot at a victory, and right now we got a bunch of guys with a shot. Varying levels of said shot at the victory. A couple lap down cars up in this pack. The 23 of Darren Ingram's a lap down right now. He's that second car now on the inside in front of the 42 of William Page. Behind Trey Coleman is Steelman now going to the lead on the bottom.
Steelman goes to the lead on the bottom. Makes a move on Cam Barnes with just 10 laps to go. Yes, that's right. It's time for the TWB 10 laps to go. And on behalf of TWB, I'd like to advertise Garden Lights Direct, from porches to patios and more, for all your outdoor lighting needs. Visit GardenLightsDirect.com. That's GardenLightsDirect.com. GardenLightsDirect.com. GardenLightsDirect.com for all your outdoor lighting needs. That's your TWB 10 to go. The laps now are going to be in the single digits from here on out.
Oh, no, that's the wreck, Tommy!
Oh, problems, and that's gonna be it. That's gotta bring out the yellow, and it does. It does, Joe.
My goodness,
Oh, my
this
goodness.
changes everything. And when I say it changes everything, fans at home, it changes everything for the finish of this race. We got a choose rule. We got, my goodness, and the whole pack's gonna be together once again, Tommy. They're all gonna be together.
They're all going to be together, Joe, and one car that's going to get the lucky dog is the 12 of Cal Loval. So put 14 cars on the lead lap. That means there's going to be 14 cars vying to win this race at the end.
Here's your replay coming off of turn number 4 from our helicopter cam. There you see Oakley kind of sandwiched between Cam Barnes and Davey Hazard. Gets in the outside wall, comes down, makes contact with the 98 of Ricky Collette. That sends him around. Sean Whitehill also gets collected up in it. And what a tough break there for all those drivers involved.
Yeah, that's really difficult. Now, Sean Whitehill, he was running good there for a while, but lost out on that lucky dog position. It's going to be Cal Lovell that gets it as we head into the closing stages now.
Does Sean not get it because he's involved in that incident?
Well, he doesn't get it because Cal Lovell's in position for it. But even if Sean wasn't involved, well, it would still be Cal, but if he was in position for it, he would not get it because he was involved. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but where was Cal? Cal wasn't in this front pack.
He wasn't in this front pack, but he was still...
oh, wait, no, he was.
He was
so
still
confused.
ahead of Sean, though.
I'm so confused.
There were cars all over the place, and regardless, Sean Whitehill, lucky dog.
Now there's cars on pit road, getting tires, guys. Everyone's staying out, though, up front because there's no point in pitting now.
Yeah, you want to keep that track position. And if you're Matthew Steelman, this might help you a little bit. You're in a position where you have less laps, so you got to stay out in front. You just hope you have a good restart and a good pusher behind you.
Off the 98 team radio, no damage on that 98. Off the 17 team radio, no damage on the 17. So everybody A-okay. Moderate damage is a lifesaver.
Yeah, and a race saver. Could be a season saver, too. Maybe one of those guys who needs a win involved in that accident, able to continue on without any issue.
I think we might be...
Maybe they win this race.
Hey, we might be choosing right here, too. Big choice coming up.
That is a big choice. I wouldn't be too surprised if the 8 of Trey Coleman pairs up with the 42 of William Page. We'll see. Here we come to the choose cone.
Oh.
The 8's going to go with the 51, and Cam Barnes follows suit. So William Page will be the first car on the outside line.
Tommy, I'm surprised by the sheer number of cars that chose to take the inside line.
It's tough. I mean, I know that the inside line has, I think, been dominant for the majority of the race, but yet, Joe, the outside line has potential, and track position is definitely going to be key with the amount of laps we have left.
Yeah, I think you got to... I mean, I guess a lot of guys are probably still a lap down, so maybe that's why they're taking the inside longest line, be at the back, blah, 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 blah. But, here we go into the restart, coming to the restart zone. Matt Steelman, William Page, row 1, and oh, Steelman spins the tires!
Oh my goodness, and there's one car in the grass. It's Doe. Move Trey Coleman to the lead, though. He gets through it okay.
And we're gonna retry that restart.
Yeah, caution out, a quick caution there. Oh my goodness, I hope Steelman, boy, that's a heartbreaker though, because I don't think he's gonna have the lead now.
No, he lost the lead because my goodness. She's a heartbreaker, that Daytona International Speedway.
Absolutely. Don't I know it, Joe? Well, we should go green with about 5 laps to go, I believe, Joe. Unless we choose here, in which case we'll have 6 laps to go.
I think we
Still
should.
plenty of time.
Let's choose here, boys.
Yeah, looks like we are choosing this time. So we're going to go back green
Oh!
with 6 laps to go. Trey Coleman takes the outside. An interesting strategy move for him.
Now more guys took the outside. What is going on?
The ebbs and flows of stock car racing at super speedways.
So Trey Coleman's going to have control of this restart on the outside. William Page to the inside. Steelman, Barnes, row 2. Row 3, Oakley, Hazard, row 4, Collette, Merzlak, Tustin, and I believe that's Noah Joyce, or no, Zalecki make up row number 5.
Trey Controlman.
Trey Controlman here. Go to the Micco restart zone, and hopefully away we'll go. Green flag back out at Daytona.
Phenomenal start for that car. Boy, he didn't spin his tires, but that bottom line struggling there. Looks like William Page didn't get a good restart. Stuck behind him is the 51 of Matthew Steelman. On the outside line, Cam Barnes tries to look high on Trey Coleman. Coleman goes low and blocks William Page down there.
Yeah, that 75 of Hazard all over the back bumper. Cam Barnes on the outside trying to make something work down the back. Straight away we go.
6 laps to go, Joe. Things are heating up. This is the time to go. Steelman looking to the middle, doesn't follow through with it. Trey Coleman stays on the bottom. William Page right behind him.
Page all over the back bumper. That number 8. Got to be careful. You don't spin him coming off this corner. An angry pack making its way into the tri-oval here at Daytona.
Yeah, this is when the intensity really picks up. These guys' hearts are racing, probably at the same RPM that their engines are going. I got to tell you, these guys, this is the time. This is where you win it or you wear it. 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go at Daytona Field, making its way off of turn number 2. This is where we're going to see if that outside lane has anything, if they can get a good enough run going down the back straightaway. This time it doesn't look so. Barnes struggling, but William Page going to go to the outside of Coleman. Coleman tries to block, can't get it done. Page going to look to the outside of Coleman going through 3 and 4.
Boy, that 8 car really didn't want that 42 to get there. He did, but now that 8's in front of him. I don't think he's going to go up high on a block, though. Seems like that bottom line's preferable. Matthew Steelman now behind Trey Coleman. He's doing the pushing.
4 laps to go at Daytona's. Coleman and Page side by side, wheel to wheel going into turn 1. Steelman trying to give that 8 car a push, but right now, Page, I just think that 7 car might be a little better pusher. Cam Barnes always has the dial cranked to 11 on the aggressiveness coming down the back straightaway. A big run coming down the outside.
Yeah, that outside line.
Oh,
we
there it
got
is.
problems back in the field. Oh, Cal Laval on 2 wheels. That's going to bring out a yellow.
Field slows down. Laval. Richard Pleasant also involved. Coming to 3 to go this time, Tommy. I think we're going to be going to overtime.
Oh, we might be. It also might be just a natural green-white checkered. We'll see how fast they can get things rolling here. If pit road's open this time, I don't know if it is or not. Either way,
Oh. Looking at the replay, it looks like the 23 of Darren Ingram just turned that 12 car. I have to get see if we can get a helicopter shot. Might be a little bit better. Kind of show what happens. These helicopter cameras are awesome here on these super speedways. Let's see what happens coming off turn 2. Here it is. Oh, yeah, he right reared him. He just ran into the right rear of that 12. Scary moment there. Everyone avoids it going through the grass. DJ Harris in the 66 also involved.
boy, I mean, that's classic, though. Now, you always see it at the end of the super speedways, Joe. That's just when guys get to racing hard.
Yeah, you always see it at the super speedways. Let me tell you, you always see it at super speedways, especially when it's a Ford in front of another Ford on the same team. Oh, my goodness. I still got PTSD back to Daytona with the Cup Series. Big Brad Keselowski fan sitting right here, right? Welcome back to USORL, guys. My goodness. What a roast. What a roast in chat.
Indeed, Joe, getting confirmation it's going to be a natural green-white checkered. Choosing this time, William Page gets the inside behind him. It's the 8 of Trey Coleman.
Oh, Oakley, so close to that box.
Oh, man, remember, if you hit that box, it's an end of longest line penalty. Able to escape that time, but just.
No, don't drop to the back, Oakley. You were fine. No.
Uh-oh.
And it's a driver's call, right? If they think they were close, a lot of times they'll just go to the back. I would have stuck there, man, even if I thought I was close. Coming back to the green, though, William Page, Cam Barnes, row 1, row 2, Trey Coleman, Matthew Steelman, row 3, Davey Hazard, Ricky Collette, Steven Merzlak, Jamie Zalecki, Ray Tustin, Huang Do, round out your top 10. Big wheel spin from the 42, but he gets away. Great flag back out at Daytona. 2 laps to go.
That's right, Joe. It's a natural green-white checkered. Cam Barnes on the outside, William Page on the inside. It's Trey Coleman in third. Looks like that inside line having some success here on the restart. That high line's going to have to get going and get going quick. 4 Fords leading that.
Oh, Ricky Collette around. Let's see.
Bring out the yellow again.
Oh, my. And we do have limited attempts at overtime, folks, so...
But noted, Joe, that was not an overtime attempt.
Exactly.
We have 2 attempts. That was not one of them. That was a natural green-white checkered.
Well, let's see what happens
we didn't
here.
get quite over the checkered.
We didn't quite get to the white flag. Collette just comes down across the nose of Ray Tustin. That's all on that 98 car.
Yeah, he got collected there.
Yeah, Tommy, that one's not working for me. Got the JTN sticker on the deck lid, too. There he goes around. Drama cars is what we call them. I mean, what?
Car back going straight, though, after spinning.
Hey, you know.
Good wheel work.
Good wheel work. Well, now we're going into overtime here at Daytona. It's gonna be a sight to see, folks. You do not want to miss it. Grab your friends, grab your family. This is gonna get exciting to finish this thing off. Make sure, if you haven't already, hit that like button, because I think you're gonna love what you see here at the end. There's not a love button on the video, because I tell you to hit that instead, but hit the like button, smash it. Here, get us over 30 likes. We'd appreciate you if you did so. And make sure, if you haven't already, you subscribe to us here at JTM, because we're gonna bring you all this action through the conclusion here of the USORL playoffs through June. It's gonna be a fun time.
It's been a lot of fun following this whole season from the beginning here at Daytona to where we are now. And certainly we've had quite a few storylines develop. Of course, bad luck for a number of drivers. Davey Hazard dominating multiple races, and now perhaps a new one to be made tonight. William Page up front, making his return to full-time USORL Cup Series racing, hoping for a win. But that's still 2 laps away from him. We're choosing right here this time. He chooses the bottom once again.
Interesting choice for Trey Coleman to go with Page there. Oh, John Peterson into the wall trying to choose. Sorry, John, I gotta call you out for it.
Caught in 4K.
Caught in 4K. Hey, over 30 likes. We appreciate you, folks. Keep pushing it up. William Page, Davey Hazard, row 1. Row 2, Trey Coleman, Cam Barnes. Row 3, Matt Steelman, Steven Merzlak, Ray Tustin, Jamie Zalecki. Row number 4 for this restart. Row 5, Sean English and Huang Do. We get ready to enter the Myco restart zone for overtime 1. Green flags back out and more wheel spin on that 42.
Oh, pretty okay restart for that lead car, William Page, despite the wheel spin. That outside line didn't really get going too well. We'll see if they can build that momentum out of 2, but right now, about a car length lead for William Page.
Now, scratch that, Tommy, about 3/4 of a car length lead. Is Hazard going to get a good run down the back straightaway, try to pull even?
That outside line with that momentum on these straightaways. So far, Cam Barnes doing a good job pushing up there to keep the outside line together. It's Merzlak behind Barnes as well. That's a PTR teammate to Hazard, who leads the outside line. Things getting real close out of turn 4. This time, Joe, when we come to the start and finish, it's going to be a white flag. 1 lap to go.
Hazard has been the dominant car all season. He's been good tonight. Can he get another victory at Daytona? Take away an extra playoff spot, or will William Page be able to get it done on the bottom? Page has that 8-car Trey Coleman all over his back bumper right now, but we know this high line's going to get a big run down the back straightaway as they're a little fractured right now, too, Tommy. Oh, we got contact!
Oh, Hazard into Trey Coleman.
We got flips. Everywhere. We got big wrecks here going back to the front because we're racing back to the line.
Oh, my goodness. Here comes Noah Joyce. Here comes Noah Joyce behind William Page. He's looking to the outside. That 3-car up high.
He's got
English down low.
He's to the outside of Page.
Here we come. It's going to be William Page with the victory.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. What a finish. What a finish. We're going to have to review what happened on that last caution, but as of now, William Page has won at Daytona, and Noah Joyce with a phenomenal second-place finish to follow his win at this Daytona race to start the season, and Sean English in the lone Dodge in the field, third place.
Well, a bunch of wild rides here at the end. Let's go to our trusty helicopter cam to see what happens up here at the front. I believe it's going to be contact between the 8 and 75. Yep, it's the 8 coming up into the 75, and my goodness. Cars all over the place. Matt Steelman, oh no, Steelman involved in that wreck. Having such a great night. Ray Tustin was in the dash for cash. Drake Holman was in a position to win $25, and that's gone.
Yeah, in our dash for cash. How about that? Cal Lovell in the 12 car, he's going to walk away with some money in his pocket. Second place in the dash for cash goes to the 1 car of Zach Krastowski. We talked about Zach all night long.
Oh my, there's too much wrecking going on here to go over it all. But then the second big wreck, Cam Barnes, heavy damage. Oakley, Garrett Sidner's night just finishes on a rough note like it was most of the night. William Page burns it down, though, in the grass here at Daytona.
Well, Joe, quite the race we had tonight. It was green, green, green for about 90% of this thing, and we got a couple yellows to finish it off. An overtime finish that went wild on the back straightaway on the white flag lap. And William Page comes away with the victory. He puts the W in William Page.
The W standing for winner, right?
That's right.
Sometimes I'm a little slower after these races. What a finish. Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was no question who was in that 42 car tonight. He had Will right on the hood.
Oh, you know.
Good for him. Come away with the win here. Love to see it.
Oh shoot, I need the Did you get the export? Sorry, a little back rub.
Yeah, I can grab that.
All right,
but it's not going to be right.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to get the right one real quick. But we're gonna get your post-race results. We're gonna talk to our top 3. Make sure if you loved that finish, which I think a lot of people at home, you're gonna love that finish. You hit that like button because you're gonna want to, and you hit the subscribe button because you're gonna want to see more. I mean, you want to see more, right?
We had a lot of people hitting the like button too, Joe. Up to 35 likes on my screen.
Hey,
that is horrific.
Love to see it.
We're going to start the process of interviews right now. We have our top 3. We're going to go from 3rd to 1st. 3rd place, Sean English. Then 2nd place, Noah Joyce. 1st place, William Page. We'll get those guys in here in a moment. For now, Joe, I think we're going to bring in our 2nd place driver, the one who won at Daytona to start the season. It almost looked like he might have a chance. Here tonight, it's Noah Joyce. Copy that. Tell you what, we're going to get William Page in here, Joe. We're doing an audible on the fly here. Here he is, Joe. into the booth. He's got the headset on.
Well, I wanted to say he quickly goes over to producer Bristol, gives him a pat on the head, because that's all he's been talking about is being able to see Bristol.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
The winner tonight at Daytona in the USORL Red Bull Cup Series, in thrilling fashion, might I add, the 42, William Page. Congratulations, William Page.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. That was a race, wasn't it? Really. I mean, what about that? We went green most of the way. Got a little crazy at the end, but that's Daytona. It's unpredictable. That was good fun.
Well, unpredictable is right. You know, we expect to see a lot of wrecks as we come to these plate tracks, but there really weren't any until the very end. You managed to survive just barely and hold off Noah Joyce at the very end there. Talk us through those last two corners.
Oh my God, those last few restarts, though, in general, had me nervous. I was actually low on fuel. If it wasn't obvious from my pit stop earlier, I took a little less fuel to get some track position. But yeah, I was hoping that run between me and Davey could have been side by side to the end. I really would have loved to have seen that develop and what it could have been. But after the whole incident there, I knew when Noah had that huge run on me, I was like, the only way I'm going to keep this is if I run him up the track, and just played my cards right, and came out with the dub. So that's how it all unfolded.
Folks at home, Will just did that race car drive. Oh, man, I just really wish we would have been able to race back. No, you don't, Will. You won the race. Don't lie to us. Come on, buddy. You know better than that. You know better than that.
Yeah, you take them how you can get them, but sometimes I just like seeing that hard door banging racing right to the end, because that can be just as exhilarating. I mean, that's just honest. I mean, that's what we like to see.
William Page, I know you had some fans in the chat. And they were cheering you on, and they're very happy that you won tonight. Besides them, I know you're going to thank them, of course, but anyone else you want to thank tonight?
Well, I mean, I'd like to thank Ray for this paint scheme. I meant to race it last week. It's kind of fitting that I got to race it here at Daytona, honestly, and get that win secured with that paint scheme in general. I'll race John's paint scheme next week that I was supposed to race tonight. But yeah, other than that, the typical IPA, everyone affiliated with them and all the teamwork and, camaraderie that happens with that. And just shout out to my roommate who was cheering me on, Luciano. Appreciate it. But yeah, other than that, good race.
Yeah, I know you got a congratulations from my father, who I know you've met. So
hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Once again, congratulations from all of us up here. Go celebrate hard tonight, Will. You earned it.
I appreciate it, guys.
Hey, thanks, Will. William Page, driver, the number 42. Will I am. I don't think that's actually what it was, but it said Will on it. So
it's a construction company, I believe.
Is it really a construction company?
I think they are.
Okay.
I hope they. Well, regardless, we could not get our third place or second place drivers in for an interview.
Wow.
So instead, we're going to bring in a guy who was at the center of the action pretty much all night long. It's Davey Hazard, number 75.
Oh, no.
Davey, welcome into the booth. I'm just going to let you go right now. Take us through that final restart.
Well, I knew we were going to get a good run. Cam and I were rolling the middle pretty good that last run. So I was hoping he would come up and follow me, and he did. And we were really rolling. We were getting it going, and they kept pushing up and pushing up. I even heard Trey say, run the middle, and they kept running up in the middle, and Will was giving me room, and Cam was pushing me nice, and then Trey just got a little overzealous with it. I don't think he'd be afraid to admit that. He did, and he got into us and bounced off the wall. And with the chassis type that we run at the super speedways, we run chassis 0. The cars are kind of like boats. So even when I had it steered, I was basically straight, but I was straight the wrong way, aiming down at the infield. And so it took me down there, and I collected a few people, which I never want to do. But at the end of the day, we ran a really good race. Got a pole. I don't get a lot of poles, so that was pretty freaking cool. Yeah, really frustrating. We ran a really good race. Was really rolling with Cam. I had a lot of confidence in that line with him behind me. But at the end of the day, it's these plate races, man. They end like this, and some tempers happening in the pits and all that. And,
I was gonna say I saw a couple fights down there. It was a little scary for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Tommy's predicted something.
It's Tommy's world. It's Tommy's world.
the fight, they know they have lost.
We're just memeing.
But that's super speedways do. But Davey, back to the race. You like you mentioned, you won the pole, which you also won earlier in the season. At least you got the chance to make it a few more laps than you did in the season opener. So that's good. Some good TV time for the shoe car as always. Next week at the Daytona Road Course, I know though, is what your sights are set on. You got to feel good about your chances there.
Oh, I'm excited. I've been looking forward to that race. I missed it in the Fast Renegade, whatever series that is, the Sunday series at Fast. I missed that race, so I'm excited to run the USORL one, get some good points. Tom, are you going to be running next week?
Yeah, next week. You have to, Davey. You have to beat him because I can't lose him from up here in the booth permanently. You know.
That's fine. That's fine. You know what? I'm always excited to race Tommy. I love when Tommy. I hate when you guys don't broadcast, but I love when you guys don't broadcast because that means I get to have Tommy in the race, and it's always a blast. But I'm looking forward to the Daytona Road Course. Beautiful track. Another week at basically what I call my home track. Shame we couldn't get a better run today. Still ended up with the top 10, but yeah, you know we ran a really good race today. It's frustrating to have it end like that, especially when you kind of get mired back in 5th and 6th for a few restarts because no one wants to work with you, even though you've run up front all night and qualified on pole and a really fast pusher, really fast pushy. It's a shame, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And again, looking forward to the next week. Looking forward to more races. Looking forward to the rest of the season here.
The cookie crumbled indeed. The glue are not able to hold together quite to the checkered flag. But Davey, while you're here, anyone you want to thank?
I'd like to thank the USORL admins for putting up with the way that race ended and everyone being angry and separating some of the fights we saw on pit road. They do a really good job, even though they probably don't get that enough. I'd like to thank you guys for probably putting on a really good broadcast. I was able to catch Tommy's World before we got out onto the racetrack for the race. That was absolutely fantastic. Well done, Tommy. That was absolutely amazing. I'd like to thank anyone I know that is watching, that's still listening. I love you guys very much. My whole team at PTR, like I said in the last interview, I know they're all leaving at the end of the season, but it's still good to have those people around. Mikey, Steve, Tommy, Weaver, Austin, everybody. I love those guys very much. And I'd like to thank JTN one more time, but for providing a premium motorsports podcast. What would that be called, Joe?
That would be called the Fake Racers Podcast with Davey Hazard and JoeTowNetwork.
So give that a listen if you haven't. I love doing it. It's probably one of my favorite things to do during the week, other than getting wrecked out of super speedways at the USORL on Saturday nights. But give it a listen. Amongst other various things I could say that are shameless plugs. I'll let Joe do the shameless plugs tonight. So.
Well, just a couple.
Just a few. But that's okay. That's what we're here for.
Hey, you guys kept it clean and green. I didn't actually get too many in.
Yeah, you're right. Like I said, it was a really good race up until the end, It's a shame.
Hey, that's like Tommy said, or you said, that's how the cookie crumbles. But Davey, again, congratulations on a good run tonight. I'm sure that was a good rebound, at least from Daytona earlier this year, where you didn't make it more than 15 laps. And I don't need to tell you good luck. You already got a bunch of wins. You're already going to be dominant, or get good finishes, or whatever you want to say. And we'll talk to you more this week on the Fake Racers Podcast about everything, and leading up to this these playoffs here in 2021, where you're going to look to win a championship.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys very much. Hope you guys have a good night.
You too, Davey. Thanks to Davey Hazard, driving number 75 Adidas Toyota Camry for Prime Time Racing. Tommy, do you have any other interviews lined up? I see you're working a lot of things over there now.
Yeah, we got one more, and of course it is our Dash for Cash winner. And here he is. He had a great looking car, and at the very end walked away with a fistful of dollars. It's Cal Lovell. Congratulations on finishing 4th and winning the Dash for Cash.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe what happened on that final lap. I mean, that was amazing.
Well, Cal,
walk us through, because you were deeper into the field. You were a lap down at one point tonight. Take us through your race.
I was a lap down the entire race, pretty much. I mean, the first pit stop, I did a dum-dum and sped on pit road on entry. And I thought I was dead in the water then, but luckily we got that caution and it put us right back in it.
Well, it put you right back in it, and it got you that $25, Cal. What are you going to do with that $25 you won tonight?
Hookers and cocaine.
That's not appropriate at
well,
all.
Thanks for listening to JTN.
No. I'll spend it on something clean. But man, I think I was like 12th on that final restart, and hell broke loose. And somehow I made it all through, and luckily the first 3 cars ahead of me weren't in Dash for Cash, so walked away with money.
I noticed that the ripple on the back straightaway, I was confused at first. I thought perhaps we actually do have an earthquake going on. Turned out to be Satan rising up from the bottom.
What?
So, Cal,
Very PG-13 interview here. Holy cannolis.
The biblical destruction and out of turn 2 was impressive. That's the kind of quality that you get from UPS drivers, though.
Oh yeah, I got to thank UPS for sponsoring me for this race, and always. Thanks for reminding me, Tommy. Because I couldn't do it without him. And also, I want to say that I feel bad for Matt. He ran a good race, and I'm disappointed the way it ended. But that's just how it goes sometimes, and sometimes we have to go through that, and it sucks. But good one for Will.
Good win for William Page indeed. And Cal, thanks for joining us after this. Don't spend that $25 all in one place.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Cal Laval, driver of the number 12 UPS machine. Congratulations again, buddy.
Cal Laval.
Wait, real quick. We apologize for anything Cal said that was not appropriate.
Yeah.
But heat of the moment, right?
I mean, Joe, think about this. This man just became rich. He's got $25. You can do anything.
You can do anything with it.
You can't blame the guy for that emotion. But I'll tell you what, a lot of emotion here tonight at Daytona.
Yeah.
Take away from the race, my goodness, how clean it was to start. My goodness, how dirty it got at the end.
I'm still reeling. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, Tommy. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. A lot of drivers not happy with the way the race ended, but I think that really we as a society, really as a whole, Tommy, we focus on bad things, right? And yeah, the end of the race might not have been good, right? I thought it was entertaining.
It was entertaining for sure.
That's what we're in the business of here at JT. We're entertainment, right? We want people to click. Exactly. For these drivers, though, it's really frustrating for the way the race ends. And I think the big takeaway tonight is that these guys can put on a fantastic show. And just once we dangled that carrot out in front of them of a checkered flag at one of the most historic racing venues in all the world, well, it shows you how important it is to win here. In my opinion, that's how I'm choosing to view it after this race tonight. This win was very important for a lot of guys.
Yeah, and that William Page 42 team, I mean, coming back to full-time racing, getting the win, locking themselves into the playoff picture, that's a big moment for them. And I know that feels good to him to get back to victory lane, not just at Daytona, but just in a race in general in the Cup Series. And Noah Joyce, a phenomenal finish, second place, a runner-up this time, where he won at this track a couple months ago. And Sean English, the underdog of the night, finishing third in the lone Dodge.
What a fantastic run for all those guys up front. Honestly though, seriously, if there is one takeaway, these guys put on a great race tonight. I know there's a lot of anger brewing down in the garage area, but it's a moving circus. It's a big family. You get angry at your family at times, but you always make up in the end. And I think that's the big thing to take away here tonight is that we're gonna be angry. Some of these guys are gonna be angry with the way the race ended, with the way their races and individually ended. But for you, the fans at home, I think it's going to go to show how important these wins are, especially coming down to a stressful championship battle.
Well, Joe, you said it. Couldn't have said it better myself. That about wraps it up for tonight's race at Daytona.
I threw it to you instead. It's
a different position. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, but seriously, thank you all for the support that we've had tonight. 38 likes that I see right now. We gained a bunch of subs too. A great chat tonight as well, Joe. Very active, and that's so much appreciated. 14 subs away from 500. We're very close.
My goodness.
Yeah, Joe, I'll hand it to you for the exit.
Yeah. Folks, we appreciate you so much as always. Make sure if you haven't already, you hit that subscribe button. I know a lot of you did that tonight, and we appreciate that to the moon and back. Not in the stock sense, just in the real life sense. That's moon's really far away. Also, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Again, a lot of you have already done that. We appreciate you so much. If you're watching the replay, do those things too. Hit the subscribe button, hit like. Go over to our Facebook page, our Twitter, do all the things there. Follow us, like our page on Facebook. Make sure, if you haven't already, did I forget? No. You can head over to the JTN merch store if you want to help support JTN even more. We didn't really talk about our merch too much tonight. You can also go over to Circle B Diecast, use code JTN at checkout. You can do all those things we talked about. There's a bunch of links in the description. Any way you support us is by really, subscribing, hitting like, and checking out those links. But for all of us here at JTN, for producer Bristol, for Tommy Bordeaux, my broadcast colleague tonight and creator of Tommy's World, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in. Spread peace, love, and happiness to all those that cross your path. And we'll see you guys Thursday night, Bomb Squad Racing from Phoenix, for what should be a fantastic first broadcast for us there at Bomb Squad. So long for now, and we'll see you guys next time. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checkered. Never mind, they're gonna be. Oh, Maverick! Oh,
Who did that?
Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill through the grass. It's gonna be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
All right, and they're wrecking behind them. We got cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, but it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Musa. Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's gonna use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're gonna be side by side, coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's gonna be a drag race to the line. Musa gets it.